So Arsenal 0, Liverpool 2. An embarrassing evening at the Emirates Stadium after the light show, after the flag waving, after all the hype, after getting the game called off against Tottenham, after Klopp getting the first leg called off. It is what it is. The lads are going to do player ratings. Before we do that, please do listen carefully to this 1-minute video for Werripy. So good evening. And listen, I'm absolutely delighted to be part of this promotion for Werripy website. Now, Werripy, if you haven't heard of them, I have pushed their website on here before a couple of times. It is an online-based mental health website that caters for all forms of depression, anxiety, low confidence issues, mental health issues. They run online courses. They also do online therapy sessions that are group sessions and free of charge. As well as that, has been created by therapists and mental health experts. They also offer self-help software and journaling programs. Now, make sure you do go and check this website out. And the best part of this is you do get a 2-week free trial. So make sure you hit that link in the description, go and check it out. And after the 2 weeks free trial, it's $14 a month, of which $1 goes to the Gunnar Claude Foundation. Go and check it out, guys. So let's get into player ratings. Before we do that, Jez, thank you, man. I know it's mad late. It's 1 a.m. in the UK. For anyone who hasn't watched your fan cam, Jez, give us your little 90-second breakdown of that calamitous performance tonight.
Shocking. Disappointing. Fed up with it now. We just seen it, Arteta, mate, you've got to go. It's not personal, but you're shit and you've got to go. You're just taking us nowhere. Season over again, out the FA Cup, out the Carabao Cup. We ain't getting top 4, so move on. Goodbye. And I'm not going to thank you for your service, because you're an absolute prick.
There we go. Damning indictment of our manager. Kenny, you was at the game. Cold, wet, got back late. And you could obviously see that unfold right in front of you. The light show and the flag waving was probably better than the actual performance overall, really, wasn't it?
You know what? I think sometimes we got a bit carried away with the fact that we got a 0-0 last week at Anfield, and everyone was thinking that it was a great performance, that Liverpool missed a boat. But all Liverpool did is that they just found it. Everyone knows in football it's more difficult to break down 10 men than it is for 11 men, because 11 men are going to eventually try and take the game to you, and they'll leave spaces, and you have more one-on-ones. So, today Liverpool just battered us in midfield. They really were better than us in midfield, and that gave them a platform to have a strong defence, because the midfield protected the defence. And when they're attack, they just got numbers there. They just look like a team that's been playing together for a good few years. We just look like a team that's playing off the cuff, and it showed. The midfield, was all risk and reward. But if you're not cracking the code in 20 minutes, then it becomes really difficult, and that's what happened. Too many players had bad performances. You can carry about one player, but when it's half the team, it's difficult.
100%, mate. 100%. Let's get straight into player ratings. Jez, let's go with the goalkeeper. A lot of people were blaming him for the first goal. I think there was 3 other victims. Yeah. Oh, well, I'll say victims. 3 other players in front of him that were culpable. And I don't really put any blame on him. But he conceded 2 tonight. He weren't great compared to normal games that he's played this season. But I don't make him at fault for either goal. What did you rate him tonight, mate?
I'm going to give him a 6. He wasn't at fault for the first goal. He's wrong-footed. I said in the fan cam, it happens. Great goalkeepers have done it. The only my concern with Ramsdale is he was poor the other day, and I didn't think he was great tonight. But I'm not blaming him for either goal. The defence really let him down. So, yeah, 6 for me.
Kenny, let's go to Tomiyasu, straight back in the team tonight.
Mistake. Big mistake to bring him back in the side, because he was awful. We put a lot of stock in this guy, and probably, if he's not 100% fit, then he's a liability. And today he was awful. It was there wasn't anything he did right today. he was out of position. He didn't get any protection. Gave the ball away. Slipped. Got overlapped a lot. Got outpaced, and and he had no confidence today. I'm going to give him a 2. That's. I have to be honest with you. That was not a Tommy Asher performance. You can't, mark him on previous performance. You have to mark him what he did today. People around me, sitting around me, were very critical of his performances, and they said the same thing as me. I could see it in my own eyes. It's not.
100%.
It's not picking on him. If you had to see it, but he's right in front of me, my side of especially the first half, and that goal, out of position, then slipped. Can't do that against someone who's slippery and sharp like Jota.
100%. Let's go to the opposite side. Kieran Tierney, first 15 minutes, Jez, was overlapping Martinelli. Looked like he was up for it. As soon as they got their goal, he never overlapped again. Yeah. Turned his back on the first goal, by the way, which is somebody that out of any player in our squad, if you asked me who would be the last player that you would pick that would turn their back on a shot, I'd pick Tierney. He turned his back on that Jota P roller. What did you make of him?
Yeah, absolutely. Ex-Celtic player. They take it in the face, man. They're used to the Glasgow kiss, and let's be fair. He started well. After that, first 15, 20, looked sharp, looked good. But again, this is another great player that we bought. Great qualities. And he's catching the Arteta virus, isn't he? And yeah, I'm gonna have to give him a 6. Purely and simply that he tried hard. He was one of our 3 better players, and I can only think of 3. So yeah, 6 for me.
Let's go to Gabriel.
Gabriel defence. You know what? You can't accept Gabriel from the whole performance because he was given a run around just as much as all our back four. And he was caught out of position, especially in the second half. But then, so for him, I can only give him a 5. I really can. I can't give him anything more than a 5.
Yeah, I agree. Jez, I know you get the ump sometimes. Yeah, when I give Kenny all the players that you want to rate, which is why I've strategically done it tonight. The Seaside Mustafi, Jez.
Shocking.
Oh, before we move on, before you get to his player rating, let me just reminisce. Let's just take it back to the old school. Let's just go back to only a week ago, Jez.
Yeah.
Only a week ago, he was standing in front of the cop laughing at Minamino's miss from 4 yards out. And whilst that's great shithousery, I don't think he understood that it was actually a 2-legged affair. And I said at the time, whilst it's funny, and it was funny, you might come unstuck next week, mate. What did you make of him, Jez?
2. Poor. Didn't turn up for the party. I'm sorry. He's had a couple of decent games for Arsenal. This guy, 50 odd million quid we spent on him. He ain't worth 50 million quid. He's worth about 15, if that. I'm sorry. He's never going to do any good here. I mean, this is just another Arteta, Edu, Vinay, bloody cock up. And, he just showed his class tonight. Absolute pony. And yeah, 2.
Yep, and it's no coincidence that Brighton have lost a whopping 4 games. Yes, 4 games this season. They sold him to us for 50 million and they haven't replaced him and they've lost 4 league games.
Yeah.
Let's go into midfield. Sambi Lukonga, Kenny.
You know what? So, unless he's got Xhaka or Party alongside him, he's going to struggle. He's given no help whatsoever. It was well-meaning what Mikel did in terms of trying to go at the front foot, but it becomes a bit pointless when you've got better players against you and when the team's in control, he can't do it on his own. And he struggled. His performance got affected. Let's not beat around the bush. It was an awful performance. It was bad. It was bad, as bad as it can get. I'm gonna be generous and give him a 4, and that's generosity because that was bad. The first half, his performance in the first half was a mess, but it's understandable because our attacking players weren't helping him without the ball. In fact, we were terrible out of the ball, and he suffered because of it.
100%. And listen, people will remember where he's palming Firmino off and then dinks the ball to Lacazette, who spooned it into the North Bank upper, and then was crying to the ref, the lino, because, it's offside, mate, put it in the top bins and we'll have a debate. Yeah, stop crying when you spooned it over the bar. Jez, Smith Rowe.
Terrible. Non-existent. Didn't know he's on the park. Bloody awful. Did absolutely nothing. Awful. 1.
Wow. Martin Odegaard, Kenny, not Gibraltar. Odegaard.
Whatever he tried, it didn't just come off. It did come off. Even when he moved, we took off Smith Rowe in order to push him further forward, and he didn't go further forward. He just stayed in the position he was put in, even when we had license to go forward. We didn't need him in midfield. We're trying to try and chase the game, try and get back in the game. What we needed to get closer to the forwards. Lacazette could have done with an hand, and Martinelli was putting crosses into one player. That was license for him and Saka to get bodies in the box. And for me, I just thought it was Martin Odegaard before his Rich Mainer form. So I'm going to give him the kind of marks I was giving before, and I'm not impressed. 5, and that's generous.
That's generous. That's very generous.
That's it's way too generous. But maybe because it wasn't as bad. It was like the reason why I gave him a 5 is because there was an intention to try and force the game. It just didn't work out for him.
Yeah, I think you're bluffing with that, mate, but it is what it is. Let's go to you, Jez. All right, listen, it's your player ratings. I just want mate. You can do what you're doing, and people can put theirs. All right, and if anyone wants to cry about player ratings, instead of crying, why don't you just put your player ratings in the comments section instead of crying about Kenny and Jez's player ratings? Put yours in there. Push yours instead of crying.
You know what it is, Lee, is that it's very easy to heckle from the touchline. We can all do that. But you getting your face on the camera and putting yourself over the parapet and get yourself noticed. It's not so easy. It's like guys who think that, and I'm not going to use this analogy, but it's quite a funny one. The guys when some porn star says, "Oh yeah, I need 10 guys to come round," because we're looking for geezers. They go around and they think it's easy, and all of a sudden they can't rise to the occasion. They go, "Oh, just give me a minute, give me a minute." That's the pork chops. The pork chops we have in ratings. We've got some geezer who's got a very boring fishing channel, fish carp nonsense, where he is, and he's always slagging me off. Me. He's got a show about fishing. Who wants to hear about fishing with his 400 odd subscribers? Who cares about fishing?
Bro, listen, he might catch a whopper out there. You know what I'm saying?
He is a whopper. He is a whopper and a pork chop.
Maybe you can use the pork chop as bait. Jez, let's go to you. Let's go Bukayo Saka, the star boy.
Oh dear, dearie me. What can I say? How many times I've got to repeat myself? This guy is knackers. Tonight he was just shocking. He brought nothing to the party tonight. A night we could have done with somebody with some injection, maybe is the right term. I don't know. He was poor, man. I mean, I'm sorry, he's getting a 2 as well.
Didn't help out Tomiyasu either at all, but Tomiyasu didn't also help out him.
Tomiyasu just likes to sit back.
Yeah, it's almost like he's been told don't overlap.
But he has.
Then people go, oh, but Saka gets treble marked. No, he doesn't. It's because nobody's given a run. My man sits at number 10. Odegaard sits at number 10. and then Saka has to just go sideways unless he does a madness, which is once every 10 games. Let's go to Gabriel Martinelli.
You know what we need? I said to the guy behind me at the stadium, I said, look, we need, if we had 11 Gabriel Martinellis, we may not be, I'll tell you one thing, we'll be a more respected side, because today he's the only one who turned up for the party. Very hungry, tried everything, tried to drag us into the game. He played, and you know what? That performance is a 7. You know, can't deny that performance. You know, he was a credit to his to the badge, and a credit to his family, because that is an example. When things don't go well for you, keep trying, keep working. And you know, it was very Fred. It's a shame that he had to be in the losing side.
100%. Listen, I don't know how close you was to the Van Dijk. Well, you're right down the other end, Kenny. Yeah, but he literally made Van Dijk baby giraffe in the box, and then Fabinho made a great
I think he was a bit impetuous, and like he gave the ball away. Like we won the ball, but he gave the ball away for their second goal. But again, their second goal was a great bit of centre forward playing. How that was given offside is extraordinary.
Mate, this is the thing. People look at certain things in games, and they take certain instances in games. Yes, he gave the ball away, and Trent, what a pass, by the way. Yeah, what a pass. I thought Trent played all right tonight, but Martinelli had him on strings in that first half.
Trent did exactly what Tomiyasu was instructed to do. He was actually played how you instruct your fullbacks to play. One, if the left back pushes up, you stay back. So it's quite intelligent what Trent's trying to do. Maybe he's trying to concentrate his defending so he can get that place for the World Cup for England.
100%. Jez, Alexander Lacazette.
Lacazette, I've got two opinions really, but I'll give you my honest one. The guy to me is burnt, he's done. He looks like he's running around at times like a headless chicken. Unlucky with a free kick coming off the bar. If that had gone in, the game would have been a totally different perspective. And for that, I will give him a generous 7, because at least he gave it a go, but he burnt out. We know that he can't last 90 minutes. 65, 70, and he's done. And so fair play to Arteta for doing the change when he had to. I think at last Arteta might be getting something into his thick head, that he actually realises that not all these players can play for 90 minutes. But Lacazette looks to me like one player that is so pissed off with Arteta. It really does. And I'll give him a 7, because he gave it his all, but that was about it, really.
Let's go to the 2 substitutes. Let's start with Eddie Nketiah. Kenny.
Yeah, Dave, man. Sometimes there's levels, and games against Liverpool finds out players. He finds out whether the players are up to this level, whether the players are just not up to this level. And really, truly, Eddie Nketiah, and I say this with great respect, whatever you do, always believe in God, because you should always believe in God and say, thank God there has to be a God for me to play for Arsenal, because seriously, you are not an Arsenal player, mate. You are exactly what you are in a tin. You are average. You brought nothing to the table. You're fresh, and really and truly, there was nothing for you. You really, your limitations, were all to bear when we were trying to get back in the game. You had no effectiveness whatsoever. I'm going to give you a very, very generous 4. But seriously, mate, if anyone makes you an offer, to leave the football club, just take it. Just take it. Your time's up, mate. Your time's up.
Jez, let's go to Thomas Partey. Fresh off of the back of the flight that was 7 hours from Cameroon yesterday, on the bench, comes on, double yellow, see you later, ta-ta.
Well, let's get it right. You know, that guy, he's just played in the AFCON, 7-hour flight, 2 hours at the airport in Cameroon. Got to get home, do all what you got to do. So you're talking about 12 hours. And this idiot puts him on the bench. When I saw him on the bench, there was a scan of the bench on the camera. The guy looked absolutely like that, bug-eyed. You know, he's knackered. And I'm thinking, why are you picking this guy? And the reason you pick him, because you're bloody desperate. And, you know, Partey was awful. Awful. But I can't really want to, you know, I feel bad because I don't want to hang him out to dry because the guy shouldn't have even been there. He should be over in bed.
Yeah.
To be honest. You know, what manager would Pep Guardiola, would Klopp, would Jose Mourinho, any top manager pick a player who's just got off the plane, probably 5
Arsene Wenger picked Santi Cazorla from Ecuador.
He did.
He came off the plane from Ecuador. Do you remember Chris Hudson's rant? He's just got off the plane from Ecuador. He shouldn't have been.
Yeah, I mean, you know, no, I mean, I feel bad about this because
Just give it the real rating, Jez. Let's be real, Diet. Say it as it is. This is real. This channel's real, mate.
So I'm going to give him a bang average 5 because the poor fucker had no shot.
But it's your rating.
It is high, but you know,
it's your rating, mate. I ain't arguing with you. It's your rating. If anyone wants to argue, put your ratings in the comments. Let's do a 3-2-1, and then we'll do the manager rating because we've got to take everything into account. We got the 0-0. We had 49% pass accuracy. We had 21% of the ball. It was a siege mentality up at Anfield last week. We are not leaving here conceding a goal. Fantastic. We all praised him for that. You then get the game against Spurs called off. Cool. We've now got a whole week. What, Klopp wants to do it? Cool. We'll play the game as well. You have a whole week. You then get rid of a centre-back on loan. You then terminate a left-back's contract. All of a sudden, Partey's back. Probably shouldn't have been in the squad. Smith Rowe and Odegaard are back. So we're like, okay, we can field a team now. Cool. And for 15 minutes, we were great. One player, maybe two, if you include the goalkeeper, can walk off of that pitch and say they played all right. 3, 2, 1.
3.
1.
0.
You know what? I gave him a 3. The only reason why I gave him a 3,
generous, I swear, you're always.
I think the reason why I gave him a 3 is because I gave him a 3 because at least he admitted that that there was no way that he had any confidence in playing Callum Chambers anywhere on that pitch in terms of like right back or in centre midfield. He just thought, I'm desperate. We're not that desperate. But in terms of like...
Yeah, but on that basis, Kenny, he threw in a guy who's just got off a 7-hour flight.
Yeah, he said that's why...
A guy despite us not rating Callum Chambers, he did get Fulham's player of the season playing in that position.
I mean, what happened to Fulham? They got relegated, didn't it?
Because he is fit.
What happened with Fulham? They got relegated, didn't
they? Well, yeah, they did.
Yeah. But really and truly, the reason why I've given him such a low mark, although you think it's high, team, football's about 90 minutes. It's not about playing off the cuff and trying to take teams by surprise. He's going to get a short, sharp shock if he doesn't, sign any players in the next 11 days. Because I'll tell you one thing: teams will work us out. They'll work us out. They'll stop us from playing, and then what you'll find is these good performances we've had of late in December would be distant memory, and we'll start struggling again, and it'll be on him.
Well, they already have, and this is why I don't gas up irrelevant runs of form that lead to nothing. We're out of every competition we've entered this season. We ain't going to win the league. We're out the FA Cup at the first attempt. We're out the League Cup. We're not in Europe. Season's failed. Yeah, third loser ain't acceptable to me. Yeah, and the fact and reality is we've done £250 million, and we're looking at our squad tonight going, that's actually not that great. No. But it is what it is. Listen, thank you both. I know it's 1:15 UK time. I know, Kenny, you've had a long day. You've done your graft at work, and then you've gone to the game, tubing it up and busting it up and all of that.
No, look, Lee, don't feel sorry for me, mate. I don't like I said, build roads. I don't like I said, I'm not a brain surgeon. I just sit in front of a computer and move monies around and boss people
humble,
back.
Mate.
I don't work that hard, mate.
You're too humble, Kenny.
The only reason
I like the Peaky Blinders cap tonight, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, trust me. That I actually bought that because I thought I was going to the North London derby. That was a Tottenham away attire. Like the super dry jacket. I had the super dry jacket, the Peaky Blinders cap, and I had blue trainers on. Not going to wear red. Remember, don't give it away.
You got to fit in, Kenny. You got to fit in. And Jez, listen, appreciate you coming on, mate. Always.
Pleasure.
Yeah, and hopefully, the 2 games that you've booked up and have been cancelled will be on a day that you can actually go back to them, mate, because I know you've lost money on trains and stuff like that. But hopefully the Wolves game and the Spurs game will be rescheduled.
Send your bill to Arsenal Football Club. Mick Arteta can afford it.
Send it to the club. And we're going to do the podcast at 8 p.m. UK time on Saturday, people. So make sure you check that out. Big up to both of you. Big up to Werripy as well, to Philip. Big up to everyone who's clicked on the website. Make sure you check it out, people. And we're out of here.
Arteta out.
We go again on Sunday.
Arteta
out.
Arteta out.